So I'm going to tell you about microbes, which is what we study in the lab. We study microbes and microbial communities. And communities of microbes are obviously important for many aspects of human health and human life. We study the microbiome in centenarians. This is a recent project, so we're interested in the human microbiome, but we're also interested in the microbiome of the oceans and of soil, which affect crops and plants, and ultimately the whole cycling of carbon and climate. So I realized that one can think of microbial intelligence in addition to artificial intelligence, and in fact microbes perform very complex calculations. This is the metabolic network, the universal metabolic network of all reactions that take place in any living cell. And microbes often interact with each other by exchanging molecules, and they have to compute very quickly what is needed from the environment, how to produce the components to make more cells, and how to potentially interact with their neighbors in order to achieve their goals, which have a strong impact on the surrounding environment and human health. So I'm not an expert on machine learning at all. I just started working in this area a little bit. And I want to illustrate some examples of how we use machine learning in this context. One of the mysteries is really how microbes interact with each other. And many times we can measure directly interactions between different species by growing them together, but there are a lot of interactions that are not known. So by encoding each microbe with a string of representative features that describe, for example, their genomes or how they behave under different conditions, we can construct strings that represent interactions. We can learn about known interactions and develop knowledge and predictions of new interactions, which we can then test experimentally. And the features that are involved in those interactions will tell us what are the characteristics of the microbes that are responsible for those interactions. We're also interested in designing communities. There is a big emphasis now in pharmaceutical research to develop communities that will fix a disease-associated microbiome to produce a healthy one. So one of the avenues is to potentially design environment, nutrient composition that will steer